great
more. That must have been, I was thinking, because the way you speak about your dad, I can't imagine what September 1990 must have been like, and that was when your dad passed away.
Yeah.
How did you learn that news?
It was most odd because it was about the same time as I met my second wife, Rachel Hunter. So it was mixed emotions. I met this wonderful girl, and I mean, my dad died. The thistle, the top Scottish person in my life. So it was. I sort of mourned him probably about 10 months later.
Was it a phone call? Were you in the States when they were?
Yeah. And I just met
Rachel at the time.
So it was like being torn both ways.
Yeah. When, I lost my dad, and you remember vividly learning about it, hearing about it, what you were feeling, and things that you regret and things. What did you lose that day, the day your dad passed?
I think the Scottish connection, because he was a true Scot. And I miss that lovely football connection. I know it sounds, shallow, but my dad and I were so close about football. Very much so. I am with all my kids, all my boys. Football is the one thing we talk about a lot. And he was a good dad. He was a quiet man, hardworking.
Right. Was there a girl that he liked the most of the women who you've had?
Well, he never met Penny, obviously. He never met Rachel. I can't answer that question.
So you did meet Rachel. She was a Sports Illustrated model. How did you meet her?
At a nightclub in Los Angeles. And it was funny, in the afternoon, my personal assistant said, have a look at this bird on the television. And it was her doing the Sports Illustrated ad, using weights. Funny, that night, we bumped into each other.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that same night.
And what do you say to a girl? Do you walk right up and what do you say?
Hello, darling, what you got in that basket? It doesn't mean anything, I know, but it's work. She didn't even have a basket.
So she was obviously smitten with you. What?
No, she gave me the total cold shoulder. That's hello, darling, what you got in that basket?
So you pursued.
Yeah.
Did it take much pursuing, or was she?
Yes, it did.
It did.
Well, that night she came back to my house and nothing happened. It was wonderful and wonderful for a few weeks. It was
okay.
Really lovely.
What was it?
I like the chase.
You do like the chase.
Always loved the chase.
Yeah.
I like being turned down. It just makes it more interesting. Mind you, this is a long time ago. I've been married to a wonderful lady for 15 years.
Yes.
Okay. 10 years nearly.
So you. I saw a video. It was a very emotional video of you singing "Have I Told You Lately That I Love You?"
Yeah.
And it was for her.
Yeah,
at that point. Yeah. And she was interviewed after it, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I was so touched at how emotional he got." What was your love connection like? Because look, you've had great, wonderful relationships, it sounds like, but hers seemed unique and different when I was reading about it.
I don't know. That's a difficult question to ask. I know she was beautiful. She was very, very young. I should have known better. It was lovely. Love is unique. That's the way it is. I can't really answer that question.
One of the things I admire about you, I have to say, a lot of people, when they have a broken relationship for whatever reason, they get harder and they get a thicker shell. You seem to always be open to love, and you give your heart away. It sounds like this is the first girl ever who had broken up with you. Usually you were the one leaving.
It was the only time it's happened. That was called karma.
Why did it end? Do you know?
Simple, because even my sister, when we were walking up the aisle, she said, "You know he's going to break Roddy's heart, don't you?" It's my brother. And she did, because she was just too young. And I should have known better. You know, I should have known better. She hadn't, as I say in the song Love Is, she hadn't spread her wings. She hadn't done things. So she was living in the shadow of a big rock star and hadn't become her own person.
She was.
Whereas when I met Penny, she was her own person. You know,
Yeah.
she was 20, 27, 28 when I met her. Rachel was like 20, 21. Is that the end of the show now? Can I You're sweating under the arm.
So you had two children with Rachel?
Two,
Two,
and then of course there was one way back.
from before. How many in total? Let's just round it.
There's eight.
Eight, okay. That's another great thing about you, Rod. You have a lot of great things, but you remain close when there's a breakup. It's not as if there's no talking. I mean, I'm watching interviews long after your breakup with the women who you've been with, and they talk about you lovingly. They want good things for you. I mean, it really does. Most of them, they seem to end okay. They end well, right?
Yeah, it's when there's children involved,
Yeah.
that's obviously the only way you should be. There's always an acrimonious point where it actually breaks up and money comes into it and it gets all. If you can get through all that, then, which we all have done.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they all came over and cooked me Christmas dinner once.
What do you mean they all?
Yeah.
Together?
They're all together, yeah.
They did. What was that?
I don't know how it happened. It was like a bit of an accident, you know, but then
They all get along? Next question. All right. Well, let's talk about Penny. Let's talk about Penny. You get all fuzzy. How did you meet Penny?
I've just broken up with Rachel. No, literally, we just broken up a week before.
Yeah.
And I know it's extraordinary, but we were in the Dorchester Hotel and I went downstairs for a drink. I'd just done a show at Earl's Court. And then there was Penny dancing. She looked fabulous, and one of her friends teased her and said, "Oh, I'm such a Rod Stewart fan. Would you go over and ask for his autograph?" And Penny went, "Oh, okay." And she came over and asked for my autograph. And
that was that?
That was that.
What did you say? What's in the basket?
But funny enough, I said, I'm going through a divorce. She didn't know about. But she said, "I'm a photographer." And I said, "Well, come and take some pictures." I'm at Earl's Court. But we have to, you know, I do believe in keeping the side of the street clean while you're going through a divorce and a breakup. So I won't be able to see you, but, you know, like, take some pictures and send them to me. And my bass player, I said, give your number to my bass player. And so she did, and I didn't see her for 6 months because the bass player said, "Rod, not yet." That's amazing. He wouldn't give me her phone number until he thought I was ready in the mind and in heart to see somebody else.
Okay. And how many children do you have with her?
By then?
Yeah.
With two with Penny. Yeah.
Two with Penny.
Two with Penny.
And how old
I'll go in twos. Okay, and her mother is beautiful, Kelly Enberg. She is just beautiful, and still is beautiful.
Wow. How old are the two kids that you have with
The
Penny?
two little ones?
Yeah, older ones.
4 and 9.